Good afternoon and Bulla from Australia's capital, Canberra. We're at Raiders Belconnen for round 13 of the Jersey Flegg Cup here between the Canberra Raiders, the ladder leading Canberra Raiders, and the Kaiviti Silktails. James Preston and John O'Farr here for you for all the coverage on New South Wales Rugby League TV and FBC Sports. Great to have your company. Jono, this is a tough test here for the Kaiviti Silktails.
Yeah, it will be, James. But look, that's the sort of stuff that the Fijians need to just get that experience, get a bit more form in the competition, and just these travels and tours to different places. That'll all be so valuable for this Fijian side.
And of course, if we take a look at the form here, the Silktails still searching for their first win of the season, averaging just 13 points a match, but there have been improved signs for them over the past month or so.
Yeah, certainly. I mean, they've got some nice structure in their halves. They've got a nice expansive play. They can score some tries out wide. They've just got to back their own ability, just be patient with their systems, and look, the results will come for the Fijians.
Well, let's take you through the two lineups here, beginning with the Canberra Raiders. At the back, it's Trey Bonetto. The wings are Jesse Lemon and Atini Tuiali. The centres are Siamani Luluai and Princeton Acera. The halves, Ethan Aliara, Kean Skips, and up front, Tane Kiriona. Sean Packer is the captain. Jai Purser, the other prop, and the back row, Jackson Lavender, Delia Wigmore, and Taylor Withington. The bench is Kachotti, Uta, Fia Vi, and Jaden Ford. The reserve is Mitchell Prest.
Look for the half in Kean Skips to be the star player for the Raiders. Had a great performance so far in season 2024. And there's the Silktails side. Couple of changes. For one, Mitchell Poulter in the 19 comes in on the wing position. A big loss will be Dalbitu. And of course, Brandon Sorn in the halves. He'll be a really key player for the Fijians. Look for Vinubalo as well, the 21 there. He's come into the side as off the interchange bench, and he'll be a really key player. He's had 3 Players Player Awards so far, his last one coming last week against Newcastle.
And of course, potentially the biggest change there in the halves, Siri Bari into the side, and Nathunga Namase out of the action there. Of course, led the side last week against the Knights, and it was a match the Silktails really pushed the Knights for various periods there. Early into the second half, trailing by just 10, 28-18. The score blew out from there. Edge defence, the real concern for the Silktails.
Yeah, and it seems to be a little bit of fatigue. They seem to be a very different side, first half, second half. They seem to show their confidence in that second half. So they just need to repeat that in the first half, and they'll be a better competitive side. But yeah, look, lessons still be learnt for the Fijians, but they'll just get better and better as the weeks go on.
And look, it wasn't too long ago these sides took one another on in Fiji itself, back in round 10, so just 3 rounds ago. Unfortunately for the Silktails, a big victory there for the Raiders, 56-8. So unfortunately for them, they don't have Down B2, as you mentioned. He was one of the try scorers in that match. He's not here today, but you'd have to imagine for Wes Nagama, it might not necessarily be a case of getting the win here today, just competing with the side that's currently leading.
Yeah, absolutely. It's about playing 70-minute football and just staying in those moments and just keeping that discipline in defence and being creative in attack, being confident in attack, and just having that structure. And yeah, as you mentioned, 56-8 was the margin back in round 10. And look, that score might be a little bit different today. Fiji would have learned a lot of lessons from that, and Canberra have made a couple of changes. So let's hope for Fiji's sake that they can just improve and get a little bit closer today.
Yeah, match changes across the board for both sides here today, certainly from the team named on Tuesday. And good to see as well, a fair few fans out here today supporting both these teams. And the other good news here, Jono, is the fact that the rain has held off. It's quite wet along the east coast of New South Wales. Hasn't really come a little bit further inland.
Yeah, let's hope that rain stays away, at least for the 70 minutes. The pitch looks in great condition. A few little dry spots, but rather good after some heavy rain. And a big birthday message to Stephen Driscoll, who's the Executive Director of the Fiji Silktails. He's a great mentor and really instrumental in their EDB program and community youth program. So a big happy birthday to Stephen Driscoll. I know our audience on FBC will be enjoying today's coverage, and a happy birthday to you, Stevie. But the Fijians, they look fit, they look ready, and yeah, as you mentioned, great conditions for today's footy.
That man we saw on screen just then, that was Tui Lomaniwai, and he's getting a start here in the centres. Mitchell Poulter, a bit of an interesting switch for him, shifting one further out from the centres to the wing. I thought he was quite strong last week, but little bit different here, a little bit of tweaking for Wes Nagama.
Yeah, absolutely. And look, that just might show the depth that this side's got. A couple of positional changes. It could be a form positional change, or it could just be that he wants Poulter in a position where he can just do a little bit different and showcase his skills in a different way. So Poulter's a quality player for the Fijian side, and let's hope he goes well today.
Of course, they are captained by Fenton Williams, and he's been in strong form himself. Last week was very, very good. A few quality offloads in there, very strong charges too, and they've got the quality here. It's just about putting it all together. You can see on the screen there, that is Mitchell Poulter. So he'll certainly be looking for a big performance. And I'm potentially thinking here for Nagama, he's a big body. Maybe it's those carries back out off the back of kicks that he's looking here for Poulter.
Yeah, absolutely. Just using his size to his advantage and just being that presence on the field, leading the team forward. He's always pretty good in that second row position. And look, I don't expect any shocks today. He's got that big body, as you mentioned. He's just got to do the simple things right, have those carries, get those completions going, and that'll give confidence for the Silktails moving forward.
Of course, for the Silktails, the big task here is aiming up in defence against the Raiders. They're a side that certainly knows how to find the try line. They are first in attack, 320 points so far.
If they can stay in competitions, then they can really take it to these teams. And when you put pressure on teams that have this ability, that's when things start to turn around. That's when the form starts to turn.
Find the line. And there was a lot of players in this Newcastle side that have had that higher level of experience, including Sebastian Sewer up front. So plenty of players that I suppose they come back down to the Jersey Flegg and they just elevate the performance. But here we go. We're now ready to get underway here at Raiders Belconnen. It is the home side coming out here. Canberra onto the pitch, and certainly Brock Shepherd, I think he would have them primed and ready here.
Yeah, they look ready to go. It's just a matter of getting those opening moments right, just that softening up period, and just getting those key moments right. That's what sets you up. That's what sets the platform. The Raiders would have talked about that. We've seen that so far in season 2024, and that's about the start that the Raiders will want.
So Raiders out now, just waiting for the Kaiviti Silktails. We do have our doctor on board, and here they come now. The travelling side, Pride of Fiji, onto Raiders Belconnen, and there is Mitchell Poulter there in the 19. So he is certainly one to watch. A late call-up here today initially, of course, not named in the starting 13 on Tuesday, but mass changes for both sides here, and probably a deserved reward too for Poulter, who was quite strong last week.
Yeah, he's a brilliant player, shows a lot of maturity in big games like this, and he'll be a key inclusion, and you could just see the pride, him coming onto the field. There's so much pride with this side. They've had a great trip to Canberra, visiting some local places associated with Pacific sports, and yeah, look, for a lot of these players, sometimes it's the first time on a plane, so that's a great experience, and let's see what difference it can make today.
Well, we are just about to find out exactly how this Kaiviti Silktail side is going to go. The first half about to get underway, 35 minutes on the clock here. Final checks here from our referees. We are ready to get underway for round 13 of the Jersey Flegg Cup as the Kaiviti Silktails kick it downfield. Raiders taking it on the full and straight away charging back into the defensive line. A good strong run there initially from Kiriona. Brings it around about 25 metres away from his own line. Now out to this left-hand side of the field. Tackle in there from Vunibola. He's over the top, and they hold him here on play number 2. Set nicely, both sides of the play the ball. They'll come out to this left-hand side. Oh, big shot attempted there from Tuilo Manewai. Just shrugged away. Still meters on offer here for the Raiders. So 3 plays down, approaching that halfway point. Once more, left-hand side again for the run here of Kiriona. 2 so far in this set for him. Into enemy territory now. Skips on the last, sends it high. An early test here for Downey Vuthu, who takes it easily. But the Raiders, they're getting pretty good meterage for their first set of the match.
Yeah, nice easy set there, James, from Canberra, just doing the basic things right, setting them up, putting a lot of pressure on. For the now the Silktails, it's just about getting outside their own half.
So here comes Kaiviti now, midway through the count on their first set. Good strong tackle here from Kiriona, and then also over the top, Lavender. Played here eventually from Vuni Dreu, and now back through the middle they come. Nice strong charge here from Bukathia. Looking just outside his own 30 here. Vunibola sends it to a flat-footed run there of Matai White. He's caught just shy of the 40 now. About 90 seconds down here at Raiders Belconnen. And the early field position battle being won by the Raiders, but that is music to the ears of the Silktails.
Yeah, this is where they need to capitalise on that mistake. They can't be greedy with this kick for touch here, the Silktails. Just need to keep it simple. They're in opposition territory, and now they can try and get first points very early in the game.
Good touch finder there from Danny Vuthu. Picks up about 25 metres, and off they go now. So best field position of the match so far for either side. I'd imagine they'd have a few plays at the line here, the Silktails. Played now from the captain, Fenton Williams. Vunibola sends it to the middle. Vukathia straight and hard inside the 20. That's the first play of the game in that zone. Vunibola once more to Matai White. Showed it momentarily there for the run of Rawamila, who was very strong against the Knights, scoring a try as well. Vunibola sends it left again. On the toe early, not a great delivery on the kick though, straight into the hands of the Raiders. And it's an early kick in the set too. Probably let Canberra off the hook there.
Yeah, just a bit of a brain explosion there for the Fijians. They probably could have handled that a little bit better, a little bit of control inside the 20. But let's see how the Raiders go. This is strong defence to return.
So Raiders now with a passage upfield. Delivering a little ball and then the run here for Princeton Acera. Very strong player. Princeton also having represented Queensland in the younger grades. A lot of Queensland players in this Canberra Raiders side too. So plenty that have come down to the nation's capital. Last one here for the Raiders as Skips once more. Kicks from inside the 40 this time. Danny Vuthu again, well positioned, takes it on the full and returns it with interest. So they'll start this set 35 away from their own line.
This is an inspired set from the Silktails. They need to just keep it simple here, but they've started well. Really limited the mistakes. Just got to work on their last tackle options.
So Poulter will play it now, 40 metres away. Decent start made here from the Silktails, up over halfway. And still 3 tackles up their sleeves as Tui Lamani plays it, and now Fenton Williams down this right-hand side of the field. One more before you'd imagine a kick to come as Vunibola sends it here for Rawamila. Nice straight charge. Picks up about 7 metres. Caught here just shy of the 30. Last one here for the Silktails. Out for Sorn now, on the last. This time a better kick. Up it goes. Chase is coming through. They get to it first, but don't take it cleanly. And then nearly Benito able to get away from them, but slightly better end of the set there. Still probably needs to be a little bit deeper, that kick, though.
Yeah, a little bit better, and they just need a little bit more confidence, I think, the Silktails, just to put a bit more pressure on the Raiders.
At the moment, they are sticking with them, though. No score after nearly 4.5 minutes of play here in the nation's capital. So waiting at acting half now. Here's the captain for the Raiders, Packer. Sends it out to this left-hand side. Skips, finding an eager runner here. Good charge, and 3 defenders in there to stop the momentum. Just inside the Silktails side of the field now. Purser will play it. Now on the charge once more. They're starting to find a few inroads here, the Raiders. Danger signs now for Silktails. Packer sends it to the left-hand side. Quick cut-out pass. Now the run here of Luluai. Luluai finds a flick pass. What a ball from him. And the Raiders will go in for Tuiali. Beautiful play down the left-hand edge. And it was building the previous few plays. And the Raiders will score first here at Belconnen.
Yeah, brilliant expansive players. We see it on the New South Wales Rugby League TV replay. Superb work from Luluai just to get that flick pass, and Tuali just ripping down that touchline, being in the perfect position to score the first try after a couple of minutes. Here it is on the replay. Nice work from Packer just to send it to that left-hand side. Have a look at this work inside the quarter line. Nice from Luluai, and a brilliant finish there from Tuali. Great stuff for the Raiders. Brilliant start for the Green Machine.
Well, it's Matt Gidley, eat your heart out with a flick pass like that in traffic. Here it is again. Packer setting it to this left-hand side. Now, Alea here, the 5'8", lovely early release from him. He's on debut today as well in the Jersey Flegg, I believe. So, Alea, nice early release. And often we see halves perhaps overplay their hand when they just need to go early wide.
Yeah, there was an opportunity to go there himself. It was almost like watching a touch football side just go along the back line. But, yeah, smart play from him. He saw the opportunity. Luluai had the opportunity and showed some confidence. And now they've got a conversion from right in front from Limon.
So Limon now 10 metres back, directly in front of the post. No wind to speak of here at Belconnen. And at Limon, won't get an easier one than this. Slots it over, and it's 6-0, and Alea just having a little check there. Not his debut. That will be the man off the bench, Kachotti, who we might see a little bit later here today.
Yeah, so a good start from the Green Machine. Nice, confident one. They've got an expansive back line, and that's something that the Fijians are going to have to watch. They sort of came up a little bit. They misread the defence, and it was just the confidence of the winger and the centre, the winger and the winger in the centre, I should say, that just got the better of the Fijians on that occasion.
So a decent start here for Fiji, but they won't want the Raiders to score next. They certainly are a team that can really build up a quick lead. So a strong set in defence required here, but that's a terrific first hit up from the Raiders in the form of Purser there, who gets good meterage. And now also chiming in for a little run here with his wing. I believe that might be run there of Tuiali. As now they once more split them through the middle. The Raiders building nicely here. Support arriving. Delay on the pass. Bonetto was there. And a crucial tackle made in the end from Poulter. But they're in trouble on this occasion now. Skips brings it to the line. A horrible pass, though. Well and truly out in front, you'd have to imagine. Forward not called. Played out here from the Silktails. Still danger now. This is zero tackle. Packer sends it to the middle. Skips. Now the run here of Withington. Just a settler here for the Raiders, but they're deep on this left-hand edge. Danger building here for the Silktails. That's the way Packer goes, but the crash play instead here for Purser, who goes the direct route and comes up trumps. And now there are some danger signs here for the Silktails. Back-to-back tries.
Yeah, terrific stuff right up the middle, and a great try there from Jai Purser. Just using his size and strength right under the black dot. And as you mentioned, it's getting a bit bleak here at the moment for the Silktails. Here's the replay here. Nice little shoot and scoot from Packer. And way too easy for Purser, right under the sticks. And just a poor read in defence there from the Silktails, James.
Yeah, on the much smaller man too, Downey Vuthu. Unfortunately left one-on-one with Purser, who's probably got a good 25, 30 kilos on the fullback. And it was always only going to be one result there. So they probably all had eyes out deep, and as you mentioned, John, a little bit lacklustre in terms of stepping up to meet the man with the ball.
Yeah, they seem to be struggling with Packer. He's just go forward from dummy half position, seems to be just throwing them off a little bit. He's very creative. He takes maybe one or two more steps ahead, and that's what's throwing off the defence for the Silktails. But on that occasion, it was just a simple one-up hit up from Purser, and he was there over the line. So as you can see, the Silktails just having a bit of a board meeting to discuss this, and Lemon from right in front to make it 2 from 2 and maybe 12-0 for the Green Machine.
You don't want to say a do or die as of yet, but they need to stop the run of points, that's for sure. There's a good opening 5 minutes here for the Silktails, but the last two sets have obviously left plenty to be desired. As Lemon now lines this one up and once more sends it over the sticks. So 12 points to nil. And unfortunately now for the Silktails, the Raiders are in front of the clock.
Yeah, and when they've got this confidence about them, that's sort of a key thing you've got to manage. A team that's first, when they have confidence, when they start playing that style of footy and take on the line, that's when you've really got to improve your 1%ers in the game.
So real issues through the middle, and the Raiders might have watched the tape here from the Silktails. The Knights last week, they got plenty of meterage early in the sets going directly through the middle, and then really capitalising, especially in the second half out wide. But for the Raiders thus far, at least on that previous try, it's all the direct route. As once more they bring it forward, and again it's that man Purser who finds an offloader. Now Bonetto gets away, and on play number 1, they're nearly back to the 40. So concerns here for the Silktails defence as Packer sends it to the middle once more. Strong charge here from Kiriona. Bouncing out of one tackle, bring it forward to the halfway line. Packer, short ball here, now for Lavender. Opportunities out wide once more here for Luluai, who pops another beautiful pass back on the inside. Now here for Tuiali, looking for a second. Good cover defence though. Vudi Bowler comes across, makes a tackle, and that's better from the Silktails.
Yeah, absolutely. It was well read on that left edge. They were flying down there, and the winger was just almost in for his second try of the afternoon. But great defence from Vunabolo, and that's why he's been getting 3 player awards. He just shows that maturity in defence. He didn't panic. He read the attack really well and put his man into touch. Now the Silktails, they've got to get themselves back in this contest. They've got to turn this possession into points.
A run like this here from Poulter certainly is what the doctor ordered. Strong and Good post-contact meters as well. So now they head back towards the middle of the field here. Leia in there for the tackle. Caught just shy of the 30-metre mark. Played now from Navuni Dreu. And then Rawa Mila through the middle. Ricky Thea taking the hit up. Bunny Bowler now waiting at acting half. We'll send it out to that left-hand side. Now up towards halfway. So good meters and multiple tackles here for the Silktails. Quick play the ball as well. As a result, Bunny Bowler can scoot. He is very dangerous out of acting half. A good set here for the Silktails. Last one to come now. First receiver. They'll send it out here for Bari. Bari puts it high. The chase coming through. A little bit of pressure here on the fullback, who does a great job, Bonetto, to beat the first man, but that's probably the best set of the game here for the Silktails.
Yeah, took the words right out of my mouth, James. That was a really impressive set from the Silktails. Just kept it simple, nice pressure on the Raiders, and a good kick chase to finish it.
So, play number 2 now here for the Raiders. They need to muscle up in defence. If they can start to win this field position battle, they can get themselves back into the contest as Packer brings it here for Luluai. And then an awkward tackle there, lifting beyond the horizontal. And unfortunately, ill discipline here for the Silktails will cost them.
Yeah, and that's the sort of stuff that they've got to get out of the game, especially when the scoreboard doesn't suit them. There's the replay there. And just some ill discipline there. And just the lifting effort there from Tulamanawai. And that's a costly mistake from the Silktails. And now the Raiders play at 10 into opposition territory.
So a big set coming up here for the Silktails. They can ill afford to concede again as Lavender brings it forward. Now Packer waiting at acting half. Purser just off his hip, instead goes to that right-hand side through Bonetto, and once more they find an offload, and again they're through here. As Sarah, beautiful ball around the corner, looking for the finish. Oh, I think he might have dropped it though. Lemon, has he spilled his lollies over the line? Well, they're going to award it. Geez, I'm not so sure there, John O'Farr.
Yeah, James Preston, that was an interesting one there. I thought Lemon might have just bobbled it over the line as he went over. It was a good defensive effort. Maybe the replay might give us a better example of it. But, yeah, I thought that they were lucky to get away with it. Here it is again, just splitting it there. Packer again. Nice work down that touch line. Little pass in and away. And then just watch it from Lemon. Moves in. And he seems to get over. There might have been a bobble there, I reckon. Closer view here, though.
So Bonetto out here for Wigmore, who gets a great little offload, and a Sarah. Lovely around the corner ball. Here it is coming up. Just in the finish here from Lemon. Ball popping free. Oh, I think he may have potentially grounded it on the line initially, and then it's bobbled. So it's probably a 50-50 call, but we'll back the referees in for this one.
Yeah, closer than us. So Lemon getting away with it there, but 16 points to nil. And now again, Silktails, just another try out on that back line for the Raiders. So they're going to look to score more points in that opposition. But the Silktails, they've got to tighten up, and they've just got to put pressure in that shifting defence to try and put the Raiders into touch, because they're pretty creative when they get the ball, and when they're in space, they're very dangerous.
It's the offloads that are really killing them at the moment. That's Luluai setting up the first try, of course, and now Wigmore getting involved too. So it's been dangerous on both edges here. And it's not just, as we mentioned, that initial offload. There's multiple offloads coming in multiple plays throughout a set. So lots to try and contend with here for the Silktails as Lemon from a difficult spot sends it on its way, hits the uprights, and it stays at 16-0.
So now the Silktails, they just have to regroup. They have to go back to their 1%ers. They have to really put pressure on the Raiders. Now they've got a bit of confidence, the Green Machine. They're going to really turn this game into some points. For the Silktails, they've just got to go back to the basics. They've got to start putting pressure on. And when they get the football, they've just got to eliminate those little key mistakes and key errors and that ill discipline.
It's a pretty similar situation to last week. They scored early, the Silktails, but still found themselves down, I think, 20-6 at one point. But they were able to get themselves back in the contest. So this one isn't a sure thing as of yet here for the Raiders, but they certainly would like to be next to score. As once more, Purser brings it forward. He's had a big opening 16 minutes here, Purser. A try and plenty of strong charges from him. We'll go back onto the mark here for Purser on play number 1. That's 16 minutes gone here at Raiders Belconnen in Canberra. you're enjoying all the coverage. If you are watching over in Fiji on FBC Sport, great to have your partnership here as once more the Raiders threatening to link up with a little offload here. Packer. And that is certainly music to the ears here of the Silktails. An error early in the count and good field position here for them.
Good chance for them to get back inside this game. They're inside opposition territory.
So charge coming here from Matai brings it to 30 metres of the Raiders line. Vuni Bowler now waiting an acting half. First receiver is Barry. Turns it back on the inside. Now a little stutter step here before straightening up. Vuni Bowler, the man with the ball, is Downy Vuthu. Waits in there at acting half. Short pass from him to Vukathia, and Purser over the top, just monstering the prop himself. So now 15 metres away and a slow play the ball as a result. Vuni Bowler out to this left-hand side. Good ball here from Sorn. Now an opportunity building for the Silktails. They're picked up and driven towards the sideline. The call of hell comes just in time, though. Deep in the count now here for the Silktails. Sorn shows it a couple of times. Now out the back. They've got numbers, but they've stopped on the run here from Downy Vuthu. He had to keep going. They did have an opportunity, but a little bit flat-footed there. Now send it to the left now. Williams having a little run himself. Williams getting close to the line. Last play here. They'd love a repeat set. Vuni Bowler. Tunnel ball out the back. Now finds a run here for Rawa Mila, who tries to go forward. And once more, it's a dog's breakfast to finish the set here, unfortunately, for the Silktails.
Yeah, unfortunately there for the Silktails, James. They had a couple of opportunities on that right edge, but just didn't take advantage of them. When they get those overlaps, they've really just got to let that ball sing, get it out wide, use their pace, use their confidence. Missed opportunity for the Fijians, unfortunately.
Luluai, as per usual, beating the first tackler and still going. 2-on-1 still, potentially. No. They dropped off on the tackle, and Williams comes up with a clutch play here. So more pressure coming on the Raiders. They'll play it just outside the 20. Now straightening up. Back-to-back sets down this end of the field for the first time in this match here. Good pressure for the Silktails. Vukathia, now Barry. Big strong shot here from Lemon. And certainly Sorn was appreciative of the contact. He gave him a little head pat. Now out it comes here for Mataiwai within 5 metres of the try line. Strong two-man tackle. Packer and Lavender over the top. Vuni Bowler scheming out of acting half. Now a little tip on play here from Barry. And just 5 metres shy of the line. They haven't thrown too much at the Raiders here. They'll only get one more as well. Vuni Bowler. Now Sorn with the attempted chip straight into a Raider. Skips picks it up and will skip away from them. Here he goes, Kean Skips for a length of the field effort. The chasers are coming, but he's got some speed about him and he'll make it all the way to the try line. Kean Skips against the run of play and more points here for the Raiders at Belconnen.
Yeah, try against the play there for the Raiders, and Skips, who's had a brilliant season so far for the Green Machine. Of course, we spoke about his talent earlier in the broadcast. He can score tries, and he scored a great one there. His last one came against the Sharks in round 8. Let's take a look at the replay. Little ricochet there for the Silktails. It bounced favourably for the Raiders, but unfortunately for the Silktails, they just couldn't catch him. And Skips just bolts away and scores a great try, run onto the post so that Lemon can make it 6 points. Good effort from the Green Machine. Of course, kicked 5 from 11 the last time they played the Fijians back in round 10. And he's got that ability to play fullback and half and 5'8". So, yeah, real talented player, almost that Darren Lockyer style player, going that fullback 5'8" position change. But Skips, what a try. Ran a decent distance to score that one, and it really makes it difficult now for the Silktails. 20 points to nil, kick on the way, 20 gone in this half.
It's a good point you raised, Jono, about Skips and his versatility. And the other man they utilise at halfback a lot throughout the 2024 season, Peyton Jenkins, pretty much a similar situation. These two have basically been switching between fullback and halfback throughout the season. But Skips, another one of these Queensland products, Tweed Seagulls Jr., also Queensland City under-17 rep back in 2022. So a lot of pedigree about this Raiders side as well. Talk about the Knights last week having quite a few players stepping up into the New South Wales Cup. It's another tough team to come up against. I would say probably two of the best sides in the competition in back-to-back weeks here for the Silktails.
Yeah, absolutely. But they're the sort of challenges that they need to be taking on, they need to be embracing as the conversion's about to take place.
And Benetto taking this one, so he's on the scorer sheet now. 22 points to nil here for the Raiders over the Kaiviti Silktails, and there's still a fair bit to go in this first half, around about 14 minutes.
So it's a real gut check here for the Silktails to try and get them back in. 22-0, not a great look on the scoreboard, but if they look at the way that they've been playing, they've just got to go back to their basics. They've got to start putting some pressure on this Raiders side. When they have confidence, that's when they start to shine. So they've got to nullify that confidence by putting pressure on, by doing the basic things with the Fijians. They've had a couple of chances in their last set of six, the Silktails, to look as though they could score points. So they've just got to start backing that ability and then starting to turn that possession into points.
Well, it's the execution on the line. They've had no issues getting down this end of the field here, but still unable to come away with points. And arguably, they've actually probably had better field position, the Silktails. It's been just some scything runs, though, from the Raiders from distance that have really set up points. Packer now sends it back to the middle here for Lavender. Good shot here from the Fijians. Right under the ribcage there. His first involvement, Alapate Quoro, and he comes up with a big shot, and that produces a result. And even the Raiders have enjoyed that one.
Yeah, there's a nice camaraderie between the two sides this afternoon. But, yeah, that's the sort of stuff that they really need to turn around. We take a look at the replay there, and a loose ball from the Canberra Raiders. And now a chance exists for the Silktails from their scrum base. They're inside opposition territory. Their attack has been a bit more impressive, but they've just got to look at those last tackle options. Let's see what they can do with this set of six.
So they'll feed this scrum around about 30 metres away here from the Raiders line. Picked up at the base and sent out here onto the run of Sawn. Chiming in, looking to put on a shot there was Tuiali, but the ball didn't quite come out as far as he would have liked. There's Downy Vuthu now. Sends it back towards the middle. Flat pass here, right at the advantage line. Onto the field now, that's Naikawa Kawavesi. He was very good off the bench last week against the Knights. Vunibola. Now here for the one of Quoro, who gets a little bit of his own medicine there, having just put on a big shot. He plays it 8 metres away from the line. Vunibola. Now Naikawa Kawavesi was looming in support. Didn't quite come to him, though. Instead, they went for the barge play. And eventually rolls back here. Vunibola out of acting half. Slow release. Now for Sawn. Takes off. Sawn gets through one tackle. Now a real opportunity here for Sawn. He's caught about 10 centimetres shy of the try line. Last one here, and they are set nicely to that right-hand side of the field. They'll bring it away here for Bari. Bari sends it across, looking for a run here. Up above them, though. What a take from Luluai.
Yeah, brilliantly read there by Canberra. That was a nice opportunity from the Silktails. I thought they probably should have gone along their back line. They might have had a better option there, but they've decided to go the kick. They needed to put pressure on. But as you mentioned, Luluai with a superb take, and now they're 10 short of the half.
So working it away now. 25 out from their own line here, the Raiders. Packer sends it out for Skips. Now once more, Wigmore winding up. Big tone argue. Got rid of a defender with ease. Looking for the offload there momentarily. Packer was waiting, but couldn't get the arm free. So once more through the middle now. Run here of Lavender. Play it just shy of the 40-metre mark. Back here for Alea, who's under pressure. Forward pass there, surely, and yes, it is called. So good pressure there from the Silktails. They stepped up nicely. Yeah,
and that's the sort of stuff that they need to do. They need to put pressure on. They need to have that shifting defence, and they had it on that occasion. It forced the error from the Canberra Raiders side. So that's got to be a confidence builder for the Silktails. When you take on these sides that have got confidence in them, and that's what Canberra's been doing. You've got to put pressure on them. You've got to lead them up. And you've got to try and force that mistake. But now the Silktails have got it inside opposition territory. They've got to start turning these possessions into points to just narrow the gap on the scoreline.
There's been a lot of ball down this end of the field the last 10 minutes. Still no result here for the Silktails, but surely time will tell here. So they work it inside that 20-metre zone now. Vunibola, I believe he might have come from the field now. So yes, they do have a new hooker out there. It's Kalu Valu. As once more they get the offload away here, and an opportunity for the Kaiviti Silktails. Nearly there was Poulter. They'll send it back towards the middle now. Bari on for the run here of Mataiwai, who then tips on a little play 5 metres away. Mataiwai at first receiver. They'll cut him out and go for Bari. Now away to this right-hand side. Very lateral. What a shot there again from Luluai. What a game he's having. In fact, it might have been Tuiali jamming in. Yeah, it is Tuiali. Great hit from him.
Yeah, great defence, and it absolutely rattled Tulamanawai there. Have a look at the set of 6 here on the replay. Nice little expansive play. And there's the big hit from Lulawai. Solid hit on him. This replay here at ground level will show it a little bit better. Bang. Did not miss.
It's a great read there from Tuiali. So ball coming free out of the hands there of Tulamanawai. And still, they just can't find an opening here, the Silktails. And again, though, that was all a little bit too lateral. You'd like to see them straighten up a bit more direct there at the line.
Yeah, I just want to see them let the ball sing a little bit. The Fijians are exceptionally good at that, and just have that confidence at the line rather than go that kick pressure close to the line. Just let the ball sing. And here's just a penalty here for the Raiders inside the 10.
Well, this spells danger once more for the Silktails. They've got around about an 80% strike rate once they get down this end of the field, if you include the breakaway from Skips. And it's a good touch finder from Skips as well. So I'll start the set just 40 metres away here from the Silktails line. Acera to touch it. Now Skips. They'll cut out one runner here and then back towards the middle. Fresh man on the field, that's Fiaviai. He rolls it back now 35 metres away. Whittington sends it wider still now. The run of Wigmore. He plays it for Packer. Once more the decoy comes there for Jaden Ford. Good tackle here on Whittington. We'll play it now. Packer. Short ball here for Fiaviai, who gets the offload away. Now Skips, sending it wider still here for Lavender. Out of one tackle, looking for an offload. Still going here. Jackson Lavender. They've got a couple of plays up their sleeves. A very sloppy play the ball. They'll say play on, though, for Packer. And now the last one. If Fiji can hold out here, the Kaiviti Silktails, they'll get a lot of confidence. Skips sends it wide. They're all running through, though. Lemon is on the spot, gets above them. What a take from Lemon, AFL style, but they're going to say they're offside, so the Silktails will survive. And that's a bit of a confidence builder here for Kaiviti.
Yeah, it's a huge pressure builder there. And, yeah, that's a huge let-off there for the Silktails. Great defence, great confidence in defence as well. And Lemon unlucky there. He did get remarkably quickly. So, as you can see, he was just a little too quick off the line. But a missed opportunity for the Raiders, but the better set of 6 defensively there from the Silktails. And now they've got it almost at the halfway.
That might be another option they go back to there, the Raiders, based on the height that Lemon got on the jump. It's like watching great AFL stars, Dustin Martin or someone out there. So here come the Silktails now, about 10 shy of the halfway line off the back of that penalty. There's Kaluni Valu. Sends it out towards the middle, and now a lot of depth about the play here. This is better from the Silktails. We've just got to keep going wide. The draw and pass comes. Lemon is bounced away, but the ball comes free, and now Skips on the counter-attack. So just as it was building, once more the Silktails turn it over. Yeah,
unfortunately, a little bit of overconfidence there from the Silktails. Great pressure from the Raiders, and that just shows you the difference between these two sides. A little bit more maturity there from the Raiders in defence. Now they make their way over halfway.
So Lemon to play it. Packer, send it to the middle now. Here is the run of Ford. It's been a decoy multiple times here, Jaden Ford, but finally gets a first hit up as Packer sends it out for Skips. Delay on the ball here for Bonetto. Now Acera once more. Good footwork, and the fend comes out. Acera beating 3 defenders. Such a tough man to try and deal with. Close to being a flop there too for the Silktails. As Packer will now send it once more to Skips, who's directing traffic beautifully. Kicks with the opposite foot. Now they look like they might have been offside. Yes, they are called out. Smartly left here from Lavender, and then a chaser coming through. I think they're going to award this. It could be another try here, a 5th one. And they're having a little conversation here with some of the supporters who will ultimately be called that Lavender pulled himself out of the play, didn't impact proceedings, and it's another try here for the Raiders.
Yeah, brilliant presence of mind there from the Raiders. Lavender just holding back, realising that he's offside and he can't touch it. And for the Raiders, they're lucky that the in-goal area was just a couple of more metres deeper, because that was very close. There's the kick from Skips. Nice little kick into the in-goal area. You can see Lavender just holding up. And there's a brilliant finish there from Ally for the Raiders to finish it right close to that dead ball line. But yeah, great presence of mind from Lavender just initially. Great low camera shot there from the sports film team. And as you can see, the 5'8" has only just got it in there, but great presence of mind from Canberra. Great enterprising rugby league and more grief there for the Silktails.
Yeah, 5th try now for the Raiders, and they are building nicely here. Of course, 56-8, the last result between these two sides less than a month ago. That one was over in Fiji, and once more they look in fine touch here. Canberra, as Bonetto will have this one to line up, but great presence of mind too as well from Skips, just to see that the defence had rushed up quite quickly, and as a result there was plenty of space behind the line.
Yeah, brilliant awareness for Skips. You can really see that he's a key player in this side, and yeah, you're absolutely right. He's not just worried about his own game, he's looking left and right, and that's what a great half should do, and that's what he's doing here. And now Bonetto has this, about 22 out and about 15 in from touch.
So less than 3 minutes to the break here, and Bonetto looking to make this 28 points to nil. And it's a big task in the second half here for the Silktails. If they could snag a try late here in this first half, they might just have something to build with, as Bonetto knocks that one over. But 28 points, it certainly is a big margin. Of course, the Raiders average 29 a game, so they've nearly hit that mark already.
Yeah, it's a big mountain to climb that the Raiders have put in front of them in this second half, but the Silktails are a side that you see a little bit more confidence in that second half. But look, it's just about going back to basics, trying not to be overconfident, putting pressure on the Canberra side. When they put pressure on them, they force the mistakes, and maybe just using their size defensively as well. Some of the mistakes that the Canberra Raiders have made in this first half have come off some big hits from the Silktails. So if they can use their size to their advantage, then that could be a difference maker. But it is a big mountain to climb with 28 points to nil on the scoreboard.
So Downie Vuthu once more restarts things here for the Silktails, and off the back fence here comes a charge here from Fia VI. Big run from him. Play number 1, already nearly back to the 30, as Packer sends it to the middle. Whittington, wider still now. On the charge is Jaden Ford. He plays it 35 metres away from his own line. Packer once more. Now Lavender also winding up. Looking to get the arm free. Quoro, though, once more. Good contact from him. So he's been strong since coming off the bench. Apalate Quoro. Now Luluai bounces out of a tackle once again. Tuiali was on his outside. Couldn't get the arm free this time, though. Packer back here for Skips. And now Whittington again with the run here. Last one for the Raiders. Packer now for Skips. Will send it high, and once more test out Downie Vuthu, who's been good under the high ball so far today, and once more passes that test with flying colours.
Yeah, nice set of 6 from both sides there. Really defensively from the Silktails, they were better. Good pressure on the Raiders, and for the Raiders, they just kept it simple and a nice kick chase to return.
So final moments of this first half here. The Silktails should finish with ball in hand. The Raiders step up and make a good shot here. So halfway through the set, they've gone very little distance so far, as Quoro now brings it forward, and that will ensure that the Silktails should finish this half with ball in hand. There's a penalty.
Yeah, and that's a key time to get it, but they'll probably just run out of time, given there's only about 20 seconds left on the clock and where they are positioned. Quick tap from the Silktails, and they play it 10 short.
It's an interesting choice there from the Silktails, given nothing was particularly quick about the tap, though, as Williams brings it forward. Might have a little opportunity out towards this left-hand side, though, as Bari brings it forward, chipped over the top, taken on the full from Bonetto, and the siren has sounded, and the referee will bring an end to proceedings here in the first half. So a fair bit of work for the Silktails to do. The Raiders, however, on song in this opening half, Jono.
Yeah, some work to do certainly for the Silktails, but a really impressive performance so far from Canberra. They're a confident side, and they're going to take that confidence into the second half. So the Silktails have got to go back to basics. Here's some of the highlights here from this first half, and it was a great little offload there. Look at that from Luluai, the in and away and the Matt Gidley style pass, and a brilliant try there from Tuali for the Raiders to start things in the first half, James.
Certainly was, and Packer, of course, he's been very instrumental out of acting half, finding a little ball there for Purser for the second try.
And of course, Packer just keeping the ball alive. This was some nice work there. Great little pass from Asira and out to Limon. And that was the dubious call, but a great try. And of course, the runaway from Skips. Have a look at this pace from this young Queenslander. I'm sure the selectors will be keeping an eye on him in future years. Great try there for the Raiders. Nicely set up from Packer. Skips. Beautiful kick towards the in-goal area. Now keep an eye on Lavender. Just held up beautifully. And Aaliyah just dived through to score. Great presence of mind from the Canberra side in that first half. They lead at 28 points to 0. So much to play for the Raiders and so much to play for more for the Silktails.
It's been a terrific first half performance here from Canberra. They have a massive lead here, and the Silktails have 8 points to 0 over the Kaiviti Silktails. It's been the last tackle options that have really quelled any momentum. The Silktails have been trying.
So, look, for the Silktails, they need to start strong. They need to start putting pressure on the Raiders. When they do that, they can force mistakes. They've got to do that consistently. They've got to be the next ones to score, because if the Canberra Raiders can score early doors in this second half, then they could be away for a big score, like we saw 56 points to 8 in round 10 a couple of weeks ago, James.
Yeah, only a few matches ago. And, of course, the Raiders' form of late hasn't been terrific either. They've lost 2 of their last 3. And that was, in fact, the victory they had in that last little stint. So we're ready to get back underway here for the second half as Benetto takes it from the tee and sends it down here. An awkward one, eventually bouncing for the Silktails. Work to do for them. They trail by 28 points to 0, 5 tries to 0 as well. They have had plenty of ball down the Raiders' end of the field, just unable to come away with points. So they work it away from their own end now. And the Raiders, it's been a very fired-up performance off the bench from Tyrell Fia-Vi. He's been outstanding, really looking to put on a shot. Now Ford comes in with a good hit here on Mataiwai. Out to this left-hand side come the Silktails. Strong charge here. Wigmore there to meet him. Over the top. Slow play the ball in the end. And then a knock on here right through the middle. And where's Nagama? I'm sure he'd be pulling strand after strand out of the hair to start things. The very message that he would have had at halftime was, let's focus on those 1%ers and let's complete.
Yeah, he's just had a bit of a look there before he's taken on the line. And an unfortunate knock on there for the Silktails, and it puts the Raiders in a very dangerous position from this scrum base as skips to feed.
So Quoro with the error there, and now inside the 40 already here for the Raiders. Just a minute into proceedings in the second half and a chance to put more pain on the board here against the Silktails. Send off here for Cacciotti, who's now out there on debut in Jersey Flegg Cup. As Alea once more gets around a few of them. Brought to ground now, just shy of that 30-metre mark. Here is Cacciotti waiting at acting half. First taste of Jersey Flegg. Sends a ball here for Withington. He's caught 23 metres away from the line. Tackle over the top there from Ruteri. Once more, Skips looming around in the background. Good delay on the pass there for Wigmore. He's been dangerous on that right-hand edge. But the ball comes free and the Silktails survive.
Yeah, nice set of 6 there from the Silktails defensively. They put the pressure on the Raiders and it forced the mistake. So now they've just got to turn around and get out of their own half and then put pressure on the Raiders in a different way. Use that back line, maybe some flashy plays, but just keep it consistent and keep it simple, I think, to get out of trouble here.
So Tui Lamaniwai with a good run there. It certainly was keeping things simple. It's nice and straight. And followed up here from Mataiwai. So 2 good charges in a row here from the Silktails. Back to the middle they come now. Quoro. 5 shy of the halfway line. Still a few plays up their sleeves. They'll bring it out to this right-hand side now. Looking for the early kick here from Downey Vuthu. He sends it high. Chase is coming through. Good distance on the kick as well. And the chase is pretty good here from the Silktails. That's a much better set.
Yeah, great defensively effort there from the Silktails. Put a lot of pressure on the Raiders. And the Raiders now, they just now try and bring it outside their line. They've really just got to go back to basics, though, the Silktails. And got to just keep that pressure on the Raiders.
Now is Sarah. Brings it forward here. He's been very good out on this right-hand centre position. Coming infield on this occasion, looking for a bit of work as Wigmore now with good footwork. Trying to pop the pass. And Benetto was looming up in support. Little dummy comes in here. So the charge forward now from Fia-Vi. He's brought down about 35 away from the Silktails line. Skips here on the last. Sends it high. Chases coming through, including Lavender. Up above them. Well taken here from Wanisi. He nearly got away as well, so he hasn't seen too much of the ball, but he dealt with that quite nicely. Yeah,
nice confidence play from Wanisi there. And now the Silktails, they've just got to keep it simple to get themselves out of trouble, get to that halfway position, and then letting the ball sing. Go along their back line, really open up the Raiders. That's what the Canberra side did. Just as I've said that, they've turned the ball over through a bad mistake.
Yeah, it was Navuni Dreu who left that one behind, and there is the commentator's curse coming into effect. It's taken a good 40 minutes, but it's always thereabouts in every game. So Withington now gets the offload away. Opportunity building here for the Raiders. Wigmore takes them on, gets very close, turned away. Now the offload for Cacciotti. Lavender off the right foot, stretches out, and try time here for the Raiders. You just can't invite a quality side like Canberra. More and more possession towards your line. They will make you pay every single time, and they've done so here.
Yeah, it was just a numbers game there for the Raiders. Nice work from Wigmore to start things, and Cacciotti just kept the ball alive. Great finish there in the end for the Raiders. But as we take a look at the replay on the New South Wales Rugby League TV and FBC, it started there. Nice work from the 5'8" for the Raiders just to take it up the middle. Great possession towards the 10-metre line. There's the offload. Nice work, Cacciotti. And that was strong work from Wigmore. Thought for a chance that he got it away over the line, but then they just proved the numbers were too strong. And a great finish from Lavender in the end. Here's a closer look.
Wigmore, that's not the first offload that he's produced today. That's resulted in points. Of course, you cast your mind back to Lemon's first try and combining with the Sarah on that right-hand edge. And interesting to see as well, Lavender switching all the way from the left-hand side out to the right-hand to try and act as a supporting player and ultimately coming away with points.
Yeah, nice floating attacking play there, and you just saw on two occasions the Raiders were able to get themselves into a tackle but still offload the ball. So that's some protection work needed for the Silktails close to the line, but just a sheer numbers game for the Canberra Raiders side on that occasion, and a great finish from Jackson Lavender.
So 6 tries on the board now here for the Raiders. They've been pretty good off the tee as well, just the one miss so far. Tougher assignment, though, here for Bonetto. So Lemon had a crack at the first few, but including this one, the last 3 now here for Bonetto. Not too much in the way of wind, and as it stands, the rain still holding off here in the nation's capital. He's got this one from around about 5 metres in from this right-hand touchline, about 25 metres back. Bonetto sends it on its way. It's going to stay out to that left-hand side, though. Won't come back, and the score remains at 32 points to nil.
Yeah, so just another issue to deal with for the Silktails. That last try for the Raiders was just a numbers game and close to the line. And they've just got to lock up the attacking player and just not allow that offload, because the Raiders have options when they just put that offload on. So some more work to do and a bigger mountain to climb for the Silktails. But they've just got to back their own abilities and use these experiences to just benefit them as they go through the season.
If you are just tuning in on FBC Sport or New South Wales Rugby League TV, of course, it was always going to be a tough assignment here for the Silktails. The Raiders are on top of the ladder, and they have come up with an error here as well off the kickoff. It was a tough one to take there for Luluai. And the ball spills out, and now a great opportunity here for Kaiviti to try and get their first points on the board.
Yeah, just trying to get his fingers under the steed in there on that occasion, Luluai, but diving a little too slowly to react, and it's forced to knock on. And it's a great position here, 10 metres out for the Silktails. They've really got to start turning these possession plays into points.
Let's see if they can come up with something directly off the base of the scrum here. So 7 minutes into the second half, still looking for their first points. They'll feed it and send it out to this left-hand side. Bari, now Downey Vuthu, just lost his footing. There was an opportunity there, a little wider for Downey Vuthu. Unfortunately, cleats gave out on him. It's a good tackle comes in here from Thea Vi. And now they'll play it 10 metres away. Kaluni Valu out here for Mataiwai. Pushed backwards. That ball's come free. Has it gone backwards, though? It's played out here from the Raiders, and play on is the call. So they only last 2 plays with ball in hand before turning it over. And once more, they come unstuck.
Yeah, just a crucial mistake close to the line for the Silktails. Ball just popping out, and again the Raiders just enterprising footy, Johnny on the spot, being there and taking advantage of a loose ball.
So now the Raiders working away from their own end here. 25 out from their try line, played here through Luluai. Withington now for a Sarah, trying to squeeze through once more. Geez, he's been dangerous on this right-hand edge, so too is Wigmore. Caused a lot of problems for the Raiders, and now skips once more, links up with Wigmore. And Lavender, again, blooming in support, so he's in a bit of a roving role here, Lavender, and he'll even have a kick too, so I think he might have actually hopped in and 5/8 potentially. Great take initially. It's gone to ground though. Had fingertips on it. Downie Vuthu thought it might have gone backwards, but first indiscretion towards the opposition try line, and now the Raiders have a real good shot at the line once again.
Yeah, and a nice little bit of creativity there from the Raiders. Of course, Lavender, as you mentioned, just coming into that position with the kick. There's the knock on there from Downie Vuthu. Line ball call. Might have gone back, but he was facing the attacking players, so it is a knock on. So 10 metres out from the line. Dangerous place here for the Raiders, and for the Silktails, they've just got to back their defence as Skip feeds the scrum.
So sent out to that left-hand side here. Skips, and now Cacciotti. That's the way they go. A layer and then good shot. Might have been a little bit high potentially. And yes, there it is. So first contact seemed to be okay, but that right arm came swinging over the top, and there is the penalty.
Yeah, just the misread of defence there for the Silktails. Quick one from the Raiders.
Withington now. Good footwork late at the line. Still driving towards that try line. Eventually they push him back there. It's a good second effort from Maikawa Kawavesi. As Cacciotti has a little look at them and scores on debut here in Jersey Flegg. Welcome to the grade, Xavier Cacciotti. A sneaky play out of acting half, and he's on the board.
Yeah, nice little shoot and scoot there from the dummy half position for Cacciotti. And great work from Xavier. Just picking the opposition, caught them napping just for half a second, and that's all you need. And Cacciotti just goes over to score the try, as you mentioned, making his debut in the Jersey Flegg. Represented ACT in the Australian Secondary Schools Rugby League Championships last year. So he's got plenty of ability, this young star. And there it is there. The little shoot and scoot, the dummy to the right, and over for the 4-pointer. And that'll be a great moment in this young man's career. Great try to the Raiders, and again, opportunistic rugby league for the Green Machine.
So 36 points to nil, 7 tries to nil, and if it was a mountain, it now looks like Kilimanjaro here for the Kaiviti Silktails. Plenty of work to do. From this point onwards, they have to be quite literally perfect in attack and defence. The Raiders just going from strength to strength, though. They'd be looking for back-to-back half-century scores here against the Silktails.
Yeah, absolutely. It was a big margin back in round 10 a couple of weeks ago, and they're looking to be that way again. But for the Silktails, just nothing seems to have gone right this afternoon. They've just had some poor real discipline, couple of knock-ons, and just allowed the Raiders just to have too much space. And it's just about that focus close to the line, and the Raiders have made them pay on every single play.
So now Bonetto, who only missed the one himself so far. Limon also having a miss earlier on. 36-0, looking to make it 38. Pretty easy assignment, this one. And does pilot it through. So 38 points to nil now. And just on Cacciotti, you mentioned, of course, representing the ACT in the secondary schools competition, but also actually the Australian schoolboys hooker last year. So he certainly has a bit of pedigree about him. Still a very young player in this Jersey Flegg side, and obviously on debut today and making a real fist of things.
Yeah, absolutely. And it looks as though every opportunity that he's been given, he's taken full advantage of, whether it's Jersey Flegg or the schoolboys or the secondary schools. So, yeah, he's done particularly well at every opportunity, and that's the sort of player that makes their way up the grades and then hopefully into first grade.
Downie Vuthu once more, sending it down here for the Raiders, and off the back fence they'll come for a big hit up here. Charging into them. I think this might even be Jaden Ford. Yes, it is. So he's back out there now for a second stint. Ford is via brings it forward again. Full head of steam from him. Poulter in there for the tackle. They've seen something on this short side. Now Lavender charging into them. Out for Wigmore, who gets the offload and chips over the top. You don't see that too often from a second rower. And on the spot is Vunibola, but geez, the Raiders throwing caution to the wind here.
Yeah, and it just shows you the confidence that they're playing with. We saw Lavender a couple of sets ago with the kick on the last tackle, and now you've seen Wigmore with that little chip chase, but beautifully read by Vunibola. And now for the Silktails, they've got to do something here inside opposition territory.
The Raiders really looking to put on a shot in this set too. There's been a number of defenders just flying out of the line as Williams comes through. Thought that might have been high contact there on Williams. A bit slow to his feet. Nice one-handed scoop here from Kaluni Valu. So they've got both of their hookers out there at once now for the Kaiviti Silktails, and Williams will be called back on the mark here. So Nagama has responded. He's looking for a little bit more creativity from his side. Last one here for them now. Bari sends it high. Chasers coming through. Pressure here for Bonetto. Gets above them. Takes it beautifully. Billy Slater style. And that's one way to defuse a bomb.
Yeah, and the Silktails on that occasion, the kick there was a poor option. They didn't need the bomb. They were too far out. Thought they might have kicked to that corner and really put some pressure on the Raiders, similar to what the Raiders did earlier in the game. But a missed opportunity there for the Silktails, and the Raiders now just straight up the main corridor.
So Cacciotti sending here for Fia VI. Just shy of the halfway line now. It's been smart out of acting half since coming on the field, Cacciotti. There's a layer. Now turns it back on the inside here for the run of Jaden Ford. Last one here for Canberra. Skips, feigning the kick. Now sends it for Wig. More opportunity building. Oh, the flick pass comes out. Tip on play here for Lavender. Now a Sarah for the corner. What a try. This would be for the Raiders. As Sarah finishes.
Again, down that side of the quarter. A little bit later on.
So Dani Vuthu once more to have the restart here. You wonder when they start having a little look at the short restart.
Well, it could be an option, especially with that scoreboard being 44 points to 0. They just need to change up a couple of things, maybe just mix it up a little bit.
I wouldn't mind seeing them throw caution to the wind, but for now, Wes Nagama has said, let's stick to our policies and principles. As Ford now, once more brings it off the back fence. Vunibola in there with the tackle. And also at the top there was Maikawa Kawavesi, as once more they send to this right-hand side. That's where all the damage has been done in the second half. As Cacciotti again operates down a short side. Lovely little pass here. Nearly got through. Tackle made there on Kiriona, who's come off second best as well. As now Fia VI brings it forward towards halfway. Kalunivalu in there with the tackle. Cacciotti again looking through the middle here, scheming. And that is a forward pass, though, back on the inside there for Cacciotti. I think his one might have been a little bit suspect as well, so take your pick, but just a bit of reprieve here for the Silktails.
Yeah, here's the replay here. There was a couple in there that was just a fraction forward. And that one's the one that pulled it up in the end. But, yeah, you're right. Take your pick, but just getting a little too flashy there at Canberra side. And that's where the Silktails have done well this afternoon. They've put pressure on Canberra to force that mistake. But it's just about then getting the football, being in that attacking position and turning that play into points.
And John, it's also worth mentioning that this is a very young Kaiviti Silktails side too. The average age is only just above 19 years of age. And of course, Jersey Flegg Cup all the way up to 21. So this is a team that will only get better in the coming seasons.
Oh, absolutely. Both the coach, Wes Nagama, and the playing group will get better as time. And when they play together, Nagama's made a couple of changes. Here they go along their back line.
Now out for Wanisi, getting very close to the sideline. That was a nice little backline movement, though, from the Silktails. A little bit more slick. As Poulter sends it back here towards Bukathia. And now Vunibola, who's operating as more of a lock forward in this second half, with Kalunivalu hopping in at acting half. Not a great delivery for Bari on that time. Now Dani Vuthu leaves it behind, and a double knock on here from Tuiali. And that'll be the turnover.
Yeah, and again, they let the ball sing on that occasion, the Silktails, didn't they? But keeping those principles simple when they've got the footy inside the attacking area.
Well, you would love to see them get on the board here today. They certainly don't deserve a donut, that's for sure. As Lavender brings it forward now. 25 away from his own line, about 15 minutes remaining. Short pass provided here. Now on the run for Tane Kirioni. Good to see he's recovered from that little niggle in the previous set. As Withington is hit hard here. Good shot from the Silktails. And driving backwards. Cacciotti once more, waiting at acting half. This time he takes off and really looks to put the foot down up towards halfway. And again, easy meters here for the Raiders. And they'll play quickly off the back of it too, with Bonetto all the way through. Finds support. Cacciotti looking for a second. Alea is there and on the spot. And he adds another layer to this cake that is building beautifully here for the Raiders. That is the cherry on top, and the half-century beckons.
Yeah, the Raiders, they just split them straight up the middle. Great effort there. Nice finish from Alea and brilliant work there. Cochotti, he's really burst onto the scene after his try. Let's take a look at it again on the New South Wales Rugby League TV replay. Here it is again, straight up the middle. Great work from the Raiders. Benetto just goes bang straight through the middle. Nice little play. And there's the break to Alea. And under the post he goes. Cochotti, too good straight up the middle. It's confidence rugby league from the Raiders. And it started from the fullback Benetto.
He's been superb since he's come on, Cochotti. You wouldn't know it's his first game. He's playing with such confidence.
And you just looked at that last pass, Cochetti there to Alea. A little bit of Reece Walsh in it. Just the play he took on the line and then just the no-look pass to his 5'8". There's a little bit of Reece Walsh there, so that's an interesting sign that I just picked up on that play. But look, the Raiders just split him straight up the middle. But again, it's just been that confidence that this side have had, and they've just capitalised it as Benetto now has this conversion from right in front.
It's certainly not the worst comparison to have, is it? Reece Walsh, one of the real superstars of the NRL, and a lot of these players looking to get all the way to that top grade. And based on what we've seen here for a debut from Cochotti, who I believe is still just 18 years of age, I wouldn't think he's too far off from at least playing New South Wales Cup and potentially, of course, in the NRL itself. So Benetto now to try and bring up the half-century, and does exactly that. So they're just 6 points short of the previous punishment they dished out to the Silktails back in round 10. Unfortunately for Kai Viti, yet to get across the scoreboard.
I guess for Cochotti, being a Canberra boy, plenty of Canberrians have found themselves into the Maroon side. So you never know, in a few years' time, he might be one to keep an eye on. He's been playing exceptionally well. He's had a great second half, scored a try, and then set up the effort there from Alea right under the sticks. But it's just been confidence rugby league here this afternoon for Canberra, and that's been the difference maker as they bring up the half-century.
So Downie Vuthu once more restarting things. Down it comes. Jaden Ford now once more, who's taken plenty of these first hit-ups in this second half. Pushed back momentarily. Quoro in there with the tackle, who has been very strong in defence, it must be said, Quoro.
Yeah, he's been a great player, one of their brighter stars this afternoon. Plenty of power. We talked about using their size to their advantage, and Quoro's certainly done that.
So now they'll head out to this left-hand side. They've been catching a cold, this edge in the second half here, Canberra. It's all been down the right-hand edge where the damage has been caused. As Cochotti will now send it back here for Skips. Further to this right-hand side they come again. Quoro, this time Aquila Quoro, looking to put on the shot. Both the brothers out there, Pilate and Aquila. As Cochotti operates to that right-hand side here with Ford. So a little bit more conservative this set here from the Raiders. They've been happy to throw it around, but this one, more looking for those regulation hit-ups as Alea now finds open pasture, bounces a few times, and once more, Downie Vuthu is on the spot, and his positioning at fullback has been very good today, Downie Vuthu.
Yeah, he's been strong at the back way, so they'll find some touch here.
Still, at the base, they are looking for their first victory. 10 matches previously for no wins, and now that will become 11, but they can't give up hope here, the Silktails. There's still quite a few rounds left in the Jersey Flegg Cup. So they bring it out to this left-hand side. Out the back now. Opportunities building, and here they go. They're away through Poulter. Poulter into the backfield. Tries to round Benetto. Great tackle from the fullback, though. Better signs here from the Silktails. Now Sorn sends it here for Bari. 6 again as well for the Silktails. On the charge now, Vukathia gets the offload away. Quoro, oh, they just needed one more pass there from Williams, who couldn't get it wider. They've still got 5 plays up their sleeves inside the 10 now. Kaluni Valu, and they've dropped it on play 1. Well, it was there for the Silktails. Williams had to find a pass somehow, and unfortunately, once more it comes unstuck.
Yeah, the fullback in Downie Vuthu as well just had a look before he passed that ball. Williams not finding
through Poulter, and good to see as well he's back into his usual position of centre. He's spent the bulk of this match on the wing, but a little bit of a shift of things in the second half here for Wes Nagama's men. And looking forward as well, the Silktails, of course, they are searching for that first victory, and potentially could come next week.
Maybe. It'll be at home as well in Churchill Park against the Warriors. For the Raiders, they next take on West Tigers at the famous Lidcombe Oval.
So I think they must have called potentially that the Raiders got a hand to things here before the Silktails, because they've got possession once more here. Quoro gets it down low here. Kaluni Valu now sends it out to this right-hand side. Bari looking for Fenton Williams. Well marked up, though. Good tackle from the smaller man, Alea. 3 metres away. They're set nicely to this left-hand side of the field. That's the way they come now. Vukathia winding up, driven backwards now. Kachotti in there. So too was Withington. Kaluni Valu floats it here for Barry. There's no way he could have been onside there. Skips, I wouldn't think. It's a good shot nonetheless. The ball comes free. I'd love to see that again, but he was up very quickly there, Skips.
Yeah, absolutely. He's launched out of the line and put the big hit on Vukathia. And in fact, it's the 18 there in Bari. But yeah, great hit, and Skips roaring out of the line.
Well, hard to tell from our position here in the commentary booth as to whether he was onside or not, but he was up very, very quickly. So I'd have had probably short odds there on potentially being offside.
Yeah, I would have thought so, but the Canberra side have got the ball and they play it 10 metres out.
Here they come with Alea. Good footwork from Alea. Oh, stepping off the left a couple of times and breaking ankles in the process. Kaluni Valu wrangles him to ground. 20 metres away here, inside the final 8 minutes at Raiders Belconnen in Canberra. The home side with an impressive display thus far. Withington, oh, good shot from Quoro once again. The Quoro brothers, they've certainly made a difference off the bench as Kachotti brings it here for Jaden Ford. Much better defensive set here from the Silktails. Limited metres on offer as Purser is back out there now. Got the second try of the day, Purser. And a one-on-one steal here as well from the Silktails. That, you have to say, is probably their best defensive set of the afternoon.
Yeah, absolutely. Using their size to their advantage on that occasion. They find themselves on halfway now.
So Alapate Quoro, I should say, playing it now. This comes out for Sorn, floating a pass once more, looking for Poulter. Finally, they've gone back to the well here. Poulter has looked good since shifting into the centres. And now they're starting to feed him early ball. It's better signs here from the Silktails, who are finishing strongly. Quoro now, 35 metres away. Poulter back to the middle. Once more for the run here of Vunibola. Works it to within 25 of the line. Good strong work. Marching forward despite pressure on him. Last one here for the Silktails. Sorn puts it on the toe. Unfortunately, they were waiting for it there through a Sarah. But they will at least trap them in the corner, and that's probably still one of their better sets.
Yeah, not a bad one. They'd probably just need a little more pressure on that kick chase in the last tackle there. But yeah, a pretty decisive set of 6 there for the Silktails, and the Raiders just had way too much time in the corner.
So here come Canberra looking to spread it early on, and they do exactly that. Now there's a bit of room to move here as well. Trying to get around the outside. Luluai bouncing off a couple of tacklers. He's looking to link back up there with Tuiali. And now Luluai will play it. So they're happy to launch a raid from deep within their own end. As out there now is Jordan Uta getting a late taste of action. He's taken that hit up. As Kachotti sends it back here for Skips, looking for the 40-20. The angle is a pretty good one here, but Wanisi, who hasn't had a great deal of work to do today, once more does a good job of that one.
Yeah, sensational read there by Wanisi. He was going over his head, read it beautifully, positioned himself well. Solid, mature take there from the winger.
Again, Williams now links up here with Poulter, who's off once more. Puts the foot down. Take it yourself, son. Poulter just gets on the inside. And the touch is made there. Just a little ankle tap at the end from Bonetto. Still pressure here on the Raiders line. Vunibola straightens up inside the 10 now. Really good 5-minute period here from the Silktails. Lots of pressure on the Raiders line. Downie Vuthu waits at acting half. Sends it to the middle. Not a great delivery. Bari takes it forward. Still more plays up their sleeves here. They've got to go back to Poulter, you'd have to think. That's where they've had all the success. Now, Vukathia, and they try to send it wide once more, and it comes unstuck. You've got to at least try and engage the defensive line before going laterally, and they've got it right when they head left, but on the right-hand side, it's breaking down.
Yeah, too short. They're bunching up. They're not creating opportunities and not putting pressure on the defensive line for the Raiders. They're just having too much time to make their decisions. But you're absolutely right. Poulter down that left edge has really been a difference maker this afternoon for the Silktails. It's unfortunate that he just hasn't crossed the line to get a 4-pointer.
So 2 line breaks in the last 5 minutes for Mitchell Poulter. And now a little chip over the top. Winissi again reading it well, but here comes Lavender. Awkward one to take. Knock on from Lavender. This will be a Silktails ball here. And Winissi, I think Lavender's landed a little bit awkwardly on the leg there. So, yeah, a few issues for him too.
So maybe just a cork.
Points, and once more you'd imagine to be that man Poulter out on this left-hand side. Roughly the same margin as their last encounter, these two sides, as Sawn this time sets a run here for Downey Vufu. Again, it's this left-hand edge where they're having a little bit of success. Lavender, I believe, has hopped into the centres, and that's what they are potentially trying to capitalise on here. Just that change of pace, potentially.
Yeah, maybe just a little bit of variation there for the Raiders to try out a few new players in different positions or different spots on the field. So an interesting one for the Raiders. But look, this is a set of 6 here that's got to yield some points here in the final moments for the Silktails.
Kalunivalu now sends it out here for Vunibola, losing his footing momentarily and finding a pass for Bari. Williams. And now for the run here of Tuila Manawai. Gets the offload, and they just are able to maintain possession here. It's Downey Vufu again losing his footing. I don't think there's been too much rain here today, maybe a light sprinkle, but a lot of Fijian players hitting the deck, unfortunately, as they work it up into enemy territory now. Tackle over the top here from Jordan Uta. 5 metres into enemy territory. Vunibola under pressure, well read from the Raiders. Gets the offload away, though. Now for the charge here of Sawn. Once more, nowhere to go. And they're not letting up at any moment here, the Raiders. Last one now for the Silktails. They need a good finish to this set. Bari sends it high. Chase is coming through. No real pressure on Luluai, though. A little bit too deep there to make a contest of it. And unfortunately for the Silktails, it looks like they might come away with no points here today.
Yeah, it's an unfortunate one because they've shown some signs where they could have scored some points, but it's just been a last tackle option that's really let them down, or maybe just some brilliant scrambling defence from the Raiders that's just escalated that scoreline. But 50 points to nil, a really impressive performance and a very confident one for the Raiders. And as you mentioned, James, they stay top of the ladder in the Jersey Flegg competition so far.
So now Purser on the run here. Try scorer today, Jai Purser. There's Alea, waits an acting half. Sends it out here to the run of Bonetto, who explodes through a gap. Bonetto with great pace. Alea there in support, wanting another try. He's certainly crossed for quite a few points today, and he'll put that one down as easy as you like. But what a second half performance it's been from the fullback, Trey Bonetto.
Yeah, another bursting run. He just gapped them straight through the line. Brilliant stuff from Bonetto, and Alea just called for it on the right side and said, I'll take it the rest. But, yeah, a nice little draw and pass play there from the fullback in Bonetto. And Ethan Alea just goes right under the sticks. Here's the replay again from dummy half. They just shifted it. It started with Alea. Nice little burst of speed there. Bonetto inside the quarter line, draws in the fullback of Downey Vufu. And Alea goes right under the black dot to score another try. 54 points to nil. Kick on the way. Closer look here, James.
Well, Alea, of course, as well. That's now a hat-trick for him. He got that late try in the first half when Lavender pulled out of the play. And 2 terrific moments of support play as well from Alea right through the middle. And as a result, 54-0. They'll get this kick too, and that brings up the exact same score for the Raiders as just 3 rounds ago against the Silktails. 56-8 on that occasion. So unfortunately for Coyote, won't be able to better their total in this one here. But it was always going to be a tough assignment. Coming down to the nation's capital, it's cold. That's a big thing that Fiji would also have to deal with. It's a beautiful climate over there, but it's a gloomy day here in the nation.
Performance from Canberra. It's been Confidence Rugby League, and that's full-time here in Belconnen. What a performance from the Green Machine, James.
Well, the Green Machine, indeed. It was machine-like with the efficiency, and they certainly found their way across the line plenty of times. 10 tries in total here for the Raiders. 56 points to nil over the Coyote Silktails. There's a whole lot of highlights, and John O'Farr will take you through it.